Effects applied to audio versus real-time effects. Last time we looked at how to apply real-time effects. How are real-time effects different from effects applied directly to audio? We'll find out in this edition of Stuart's Audacity Tips. This is a Part 2 installment. Did you share the previous edition with someone? They'll appreciate you even more if you make sure they have this one too. Thanks for all the feedback you sent in response to my previous tip. It's clear that many of you are very conscientious about maintaining the high quality of work you produce. The number one question I got was about the fact that real-time effects are not a different way to implement the built-in effects that we're accustomed to in Audacity. Fortunately, that's the focus of this tip. When an effect is applied directly to some selected audio, we can choose to use a built-in effect or a plug-in effect. Plugins are shown on the Effect option on the main menu. Real-time effects, on the other hand, only allow plugins. So if you're accustomed to using a built-in effect in your workflow, your only option in terms of using a real-time effect is to find a similar plugin and experiment with it until you get results similar to those you get with the built-in effect. My example for this tip is like that. I'm comparing the built-in compressor effect with the M compressor plugin from the Melda Productions free plugins collection. Note, in VO work I almost never use a compressor, but I'm using it here because it's easy to see the direct comparison between the built-in effect and the plug-in effect. On to the example. Here's a piece of audio I'll be using. When applying an effect to audio, first select the audio to which you want to apply the effect. In my example, I'm selecting the entire track. Then I choose Compressor from the Effect option on the main menu. This brings up the settings dialog for the compressor effect. The Apply button tells Audacity to apply the effect to the selected audio, and the changes to the audio are immediately apparent on the waveform. On the other hand, to apply the M compressor effect to the track, I click on the Effect button in the track header and select the M compressor option from the list of plugins that I've previously installed. This brings up the settings dialog for the plugin. Now I can adjust settings for the plugin. I like to play the track and listen while I make adjustments. This is one of the cool things about real-time effects. Looped playback is also very useful for doing this. Notice that there is no Apply button on the settings dialog for the real-time effect. This is because the effect is not applied directly to the audio. It is turned on and off with the power button control in the track header. So when I'm done adjusting the settings, I just click the close button, the X, in the upper right corner of the dialog. Here's the result on the waveform. Notice that the waveform doesn't show any differently than it did before I applied the effect. The original audio is not changed. The plugin is applied on playback in real time, and we can turn it on and off during playback too. It's a very flexible way of working with effects. So the takeaway from all of this is twofold. One, real-time effects don't alter the original audio. In other words, they're non-destructive. And two, they can be turned on and off at your convenience. Next time, more on smart clips. Hope this helps. I'm Stuart.